Could the New York Knicks target young up-and-comer Josh Giddey in exchange for a Quentin Grimes trade? That's the question that I'm asking today, guys. So what's up? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we are going to waste no time jumping right into the video today because Eddie Presti from Knicks Twitter, he's one of the more famous Knicks Twitter accounts, basically said that an NBA insider for the Thunder said that the Thunder would be open to trading Josh Giddey for a 3-and-D player. And do you think OKC would move Giddey for Quentin Grimes? And do you think the Knicks could make that move? Sorry for the quality right there. Don't know why that's all screwed up. But here's the deal. Josh Giddey's trade value has obviously went in really down from what it could have been because he's had some off-the-court issues, specifically that relationship that he had with someone who probably was not of age, allegedly. We don't know. I don't know. But it is certainly a thing that has kind of tanked the man's trade value, and it seems like the Thunder are open to trading him. Maybe because of that, but also because he does not really fit with the roster. Now, if you go onto the Thunder subreddit, probably around 2 weeks ago, someone posted the idea of trading Josh Giddey and saying that he is a huge fan of him and he's looking for a better home for him where he could be the primary ball handler, adding more value. And he mentioned the Spurs being a team that could jump at the opportunity and then potentially just figuring it out from there. But the thing is, I don't think the Spurs would trade for him because the Spurs are one hell of an organization that probably would not accept Josh Giddey based off of the issues that he's had off the court. Who knows with the Knicks? It doesn't feel like the Knicks are exactly a team that would do that either because of all the media surrounding them. But Josh Giddey has not been accused of any crimes. The case has been closed by the Newport Police Department, and Josh Giddey won't be facing any criminal charges. Does that make what he did right? No. Does it mean that he did something? Maybe. I don't know. I truly have no idea. I didn't look that much into it because it's pretty dark, so I just kind of avoided it for the most part. What I'm really talking about is basketball-wise. Oh, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed for this. But so the Knicks have the second least assists per game out of any team this season. They're sandwiched in between the Trailblazers, who have the lowest with 22.5. The Knicks then have 24, and the Chicago Bulls are right after them at 24.4. And the Bulls do not currently have someone who is a real point guard. So clearly the Knicks have passing issues. I mean, Jalen Brunson's passing has gotten better. His assist numbers are getting higher, especially with R.J. Barrett going because he's got the ball more. And Julius Randle's a good passer for a power forward. But the Knicks do lack playmaking. It's one of the reasons I think why many fans like the idea of DeJounte Murray is that he's an excellent playmaker, and he could fit with the Knicks because of that. I personally would rather them go for someone off their bench. And I guess Josh Giddey could be that option. Now, Josh Giddey's a little different because you're not exactly contending if you're trading Grimes for him instead of making some trade that probably doesn't even involve Grimes and putting Fournier and a few second rounders into Malcolm Brogdon. But now with Josh Giddey, you have a chance to kind of get him at low value because of his off the court situation, we'll call it. But also because he could theoretically fit with the New York Knicks. Now, if we look throughout his career, Josh Giddey has a career average of 6 assists per game, and those numbers have went down this season. He's not having a good season, and that's because, as the man from Reddit posted out, basically, Josh Giddey does not fit with the Oklahoma City Thunder at all. He doesn't fit next to Shea because he's not really a good shooter at all. If you look at his three-point percentage, though it's climbed throughout his career, he's not exactly what you want next to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, considering Giddey's mainly there to make plays and kind of be an all-around player as it is. So really, if you're looking at Josh Giddey for the Knicks, you're looking at him as a sixth man. You're like, okay, here's who we can replace Emmanuel quickly with. Someone who can make plays for others, someone who can get to the hole and kind of be himself. Can he shoot that well? No. But if you're getting rid of Grimes, Deuce McBride has shown sort of better shooting, but still that leaves the Knicks bench without good shooting whatsoever. I mean, you're taking away the Knicks' best bench shooter, replacing him with Josh Giddey, who's a 34.5% shooter from 3 this season. Then you're looking at also Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, and then either Jericho Sims or Precious Achiuwa. And that's not exactly what would help the Knicks bench the most because it doesn't really add shooting to the team, which is my issue with it. But I do see the reasoning for it if we're talking basketball, and that's because Grimes getting traded for Giddey would be a win for the Knicks because Giddey has more potential. But also, who knows if he can really get there. if he's in the Knicks' sixth-man role, he could kind of get pigeonholed the same way that Emmanuel quickly did, and it could not exactly lead to the best case scenario for the Knicks, as then they're either going to end up flipping him as trade bait, and that could be good, or you're just stuck with a guy who's going to want a payday, and you can't ever really justify starting him, and then things get weird. Look, I think Josh Giddey's a point guard. I just do not think he can really play any other position perfectly. It's kind of like if you're playing him at small forward, it's pretty similar to the Tyreek Evans situation where the Sacramento Kings ruined everything because they took Tyreek Evans, a 6'6" point guard, and made him play the small forward where he could not get the same groove. I think you'd get the same thing with Josh Giddey if he's not playing point guard, which makes me kind of worried. But also, if you're the Knicks and you're looking at this and you're like, all right, well, hopefully the noise on all this stuff will quiet down. Then we'll be able to flip him for something if he just shows out in the playoffs, because the Knicks are going to make the playoffs whether or not they make a trade like this. So maybe Giddey plays well off the bench for the Knicks. You could use him in a trade package for a star. His value could go up. And then it would make sense. But it wouldn't make sense to stick with him for the long run, which is kind of my issue with it. I'm not even against the Knicks trading for a young player if they give away Grimes, but it's someone who can shoot, someone who can make plays, but we're also instantly going to look for him to be flipped. Giddey's not going to be the easiest one because of that off-the-court stuff, and now we'll go into that a little bit. So Josh Giddey won't face charges following the allegations that he had an inappropriate relationship with a minor, Newport Beach, California said, and the department said they had a thorough and exhaustive examination into claims which the Athletic said emerged on social media and were unable to corroborate any criminal activity to Mr. Giddey, and the investigation is now closed. And as we saw here, this has nothing to do with Josh Giddey, so clearly Thunder fans are not looking at this also, because look, he mentions trading Giddey right here, says that he's a huge fan of Giddey, and also does not mention the off-the-court stuff. This is when we mentioned the fact that no one really seems to bat an eye at Karl Malone up until a few years ago with that whole situation, which was worse because it was proven. The one way that you can prove that is possible because, you know, the girl had a kid. But I still don't know. I don't think the turmoil would be good for the Knicks. And it's not going to be good for any team. But when you're the media capital of the world, it makes no sense to trade for a guy who's going to have this label on him for at least the next few years, if not the rest of his life. And who knows if it's even true? I don't. Do I think it's true? I have no idea. I've seen the same thing that all you guys have seen on social media. I'm not going to just decide to blindly believe it because of what that girl posted on her Snapchat. I'm not going to choose to not believe it because Josh Giddey's an NBA player. That wouldn't make sense. I don't know Josh Giddey. I don't know that girl. I don't have any idea about this situation whatsoever. What I do know is that off the bench, Josh Giddey could fit with the Knicks for the rest of the season to a degree, but also the shooting is not good enough. And with that, I'm probably canceled forever. So I will see you guys later. Have a great day, and go Knicks.